Hello, everybody. Welcome to Publishing 101 Video 2. I am Gloria Coppola, if you have not met me yet, and I am a best-selling award-winning author, and I help independent authors write and publish their books. But in this group, I'm offering you resources, information, freebies, and anything that will help you get your book published because I do know that many people need to do it themselves because of budgeting and all, and that's okay. You just got to get started, right? So the other day I did post a video on some tips, so make sure you catch that one. And I am in the process, hopefully by August, putting together a whole program for you guys, just a getting started kind of program for publishing. So stay tuned for that. And if you're not on my mailing list, please be sure to get on there because it is how you will stay informed, how you can receive free PDFs to help you. Matter of fact, I'm going to put the one here for the journal if you don't have that one yet. And there's going to be other ones. There's going to be a PDF on all the kind of tips of doing a book launch, but also some of the trainings that I offer. So come on and say hello and tell me what you struggle with in writing, editing, or publishing your book. Oh, let's talk about editing, okay? So when self-publishing a book, a lot of people, they back away from professional editors because they can be costly, to be honest with you, especially if you have a larger book. So, but you have to have editing. So what can you do? Are there free editing platforms? Absolutely. If you are using Microsoft Word to type your documents, the simplest thing you can do is spelling and grammar check. But there's way more than that in editing, okay? So let's just talk a little bit about that because this is part of your publishing process. And when you put your beautiful books, see all these beautiful books, when you put your beautiful book out there, you want to do the best you can in editing. Now, are there going to be mistakes? There are always mistakes. One, your eyes will miss it no matter how many times you look at it. Software programs will miss it because they're not perfect. And even professional editors can miss things. Okay. So we have to get used to progress, not perfection. So the first thing you do is you definitely use your spelling and grammar check on Microsoft Word. It picks up a lot of things. Now, another one that I recommend if you oops, sorry about that. If you don't use it, is Grammarly or Pro Writing Aid. These are also two that you can get a free level or you can upgrade. All right. They all look at things a little differently. I like Pro Writing Aid, and I do recommend it to my authors to just go in for the freebie one first and just kind of see some of the suggestions they make. And then also use it to look for, if you are a person that's using a lot of the same words over and over, you want to go in and get some different words. Okay, so either go check on Google the synonyms that you can get, or go into Pro Writing Aid and they will give you suggestions and see which ones fit your manuscript. Just spice it up a little bit, make it more interesting. So these are things that you want to do before you even begin to hit the publishing button, because as I said in the first video, it doesn't cost anything to hit the publishing button. What it costs is the services. But if you're trying to do everything yourself, then pay attention to these tips. Okay. You do want to have people that are beta readers. Now, a beta reader is somebody that's going to get your confidential manuscript, probably not in a finished state just yet, or a finished state. It's up to you, or a state that you think is finished. Because trust me, once you have other eyes looking at it, they're going to see things from a different perspective. So in publishing your book, it's really important to get feedback from reliable people and people that know how to write, and readers that would enjoy your type of book. So, for example, if I was to give a confidential manuscript to some authors, which I have done on my own book, what are they looking for? Well, some of them are looking for, like, is the character relatable and real and juicy? And can they really get into them? Will they be memorable? So these are things that people can tell you. Oh my God, I loved your character developments. I love this character. This one I'm not so sure I can understand. These are important because when someone is reading your book, when you do publish it, you want them to remember those characters, especially if you have a sequel in mind, right? The other thing that a beta reader will look at is maybe not so much the editing and grammar, but some of them will. They'll catch things and they'll tell you, but they'll also might mention to you, it's a little slow here, it's lagging here. What can you do to, you know, amp it up a little bit, get that climax going a little bit more, and that arc of what you write. So before you hit that publish button, make sure that not only you are reading it, but that you have reliable people that can give you valuable input. And we have lots of people in this group, by the way, tons of you. And put a a couple paragraphs of your, let's say, your first chapter in here if you want to take that risk and put it out there, because sooner or later you're going to have to. So don't wait till you actually hit the publish button. Get help and feedback in here. And there are some editors in here and proofreaders in here. So if you are looking to hire somebody, then reach out and we can set you up with people that'll work with your genre. And that's important, because you know what happened to me recently? I had several editors for my upcoming book, and they were not good fiction editors. They were changing a lot of things that did not relate to my story or my character. So you have to make sure you really know the type of editing they do. Okay. So we've got Microsoft Word, we've got Grammarly, we got Pro Writing 8. Are there other programs? Absolutely. But I encourage you to write, and then edit. And the simplest things to do is looking at your spelling, okay? Looking at the overuse of words, checking punctuation, which is always a tough one, and that's where you may need a professional to come in. Excuse me. Making sure that your sentences aren't repetitive. I find that a lot when I'm reviewing people's documents, that even within a paragraph or two, they can be repeating the same information, just kind of changing it up a little bit. You got to be cautious of that. You got to remember, when you're writing, you see a lot of things in your head, but you don't necessarily get them on the paper. So you want to be able to show your information. If you're writing fiction versus telling, you probably hear that a lot. And it's not always that easy, right? Excuse me. And you want to stay away from, words like very. It's very beautiful. No. Oh, excuse me. Because that doesn't say anything, right? What does very beautiful mean? Like, describe that in your story. So if you have questions, drop them below. I'm going to keep putting up publishing tips in here to help you. But please remember, go and sign up for my newsletter so that you're getting other information that's valuable and other things coming up, all right? And freebies and trainings and all of that. And also that free intentional journal that you can get, all right? So again, if you're new here, introduce yourself. This is an opportunity to build your community. And that's another important part of pre-publishing. We talked about that the other day, the pre-promoting. Did you go and tell people you're writing a book on your timeline? All right. Are you telling people in here that you're writing a book or wrote a book or you got a sequel coming up or the stage of your book? That's important. One of the things that has helped me the most is developing an author community and finding fellow authors that when I'm ready to publish or I'm ready to do my beta readers or my launch and all that, it's the community of authors that understand you and support you. So get to know each other in here. If you're just kind of browsing and you're not commenting, well, who's going to get to know you when you actually put your book out there? Why would they want to buy it if you never engage? So this is an important part of publishing. Yes, it is. Build your community. So do you have a fan page for your authorship? Post it in here. Do you have an author page on your website? If not, create it. All right. Do you have an author media page? I don't have mine here right now. I'll show it to you another day and how to do them. Okay. Because you want to have that media page with your book, with your synopsis, with the information on it, like where it's being published, the ISBN number, your website, your photo, your bio. These go out to media individuals. And that's how I got an interview in the local newspaper. They didn't just do a press release, they did an interview. So the more that you have before you actually hit that publishing button, okay, as a marketing and media package and a community to support you, the more successful you will be in getting the word out there. So here's what I'm going to ask all of you today. One, if you come on and listen to this later, hit pound replay and tell us a little bit about yourself. And if you haven't introduced yourself recently, come back in and introduce yourself. You can do it by writing. You can do it with a Facebook Live. I'm fine with that. Okay. So I want to see you all connect support each other. And when that publishing day comes, you've got a community of people that are cheering you on, probably buying your book, okay, and telling other people about it and putting reviews up, not only on Amazon, but on Goodreads. If you're not on Goodreads, okay, I'm going to put that up here. You want to create your Goodreads page when you have your book cover. As soon as you have your book cover, go create it, okay? And if you have a Goodreads page and you'd like us to go in, if we've read your book and put a review, this is one of the important places to put those reviews. So you're getting a lot of tips pre-publishing on what is going to help you get visibility and a network and all. So go back and listen to video 1, where I begin to set you up with the competitive analysis and why that is important for your categories and your visibility. And today I want you to introduce yourself. I want you to be part of the community so that, we've got almost 700 people here right now and more are coming in every day because I'm offering more valuable information for you all. So invite a friend, tag them on something in here that's intriguing. Oh, and by the way, today, if you haven't seen it, I posted an article, a really good article. How do you get your book in independent bookstores? You don't just go up to them and say, hey, I want to get my book in here. What do I do? No, go read the article so that you can approach them in a way that they want to receive your book and maybe set up a book signing for you too. So drop your questions down below. I will be back in here on a regular basis giving you more tips, and tell me which ones are helping you. I would love to know so I can bring you more value and more wonderful ways to get your book out into the world.